Fastball fans, and welcome to the 2019 ISC World Tournament here at the Circle Top Bar and Grill in Denmark, Wisconsin. Little overcast and a little bit of rain today here in Denmark. This afternoon's game features the visiting Circle Top Dukes, even though they are our host team here this week, and they are taking on the Fargo Kegal Black Knights. I'm Blair Setford, working with Lori Cook-Baird this afternoon. And Lori, welcome to Circle Top. Welcome to the 2019 ISC World Tournament.
Thank you, Blair. I am so excited. I can hardly stand it. This is going to be a great game. And even though it's a little bit wet out there, I think these boys look ready to go. What do you think?
I think that they have been waiting all week to play this one. These two teams dropping down into the losers bracket as they suffered losses a couple of nights ago, but they've made their way here to Friday afternoon at the ISC World Tournament. Now you've got to win it to stay in it. For the visiting Circle Top Dukes leading off, it's going to be Ryan Sinclair. He'll be followed by Federico Eder, then Manuel Godoy, Blair Ezekiel, Tyler Dudley, Matt Ratliff playing right field tonight, Josh White, Zane Van Lieshout moves out to the outfield with Ramon Godoy on the board. It's Leo Latassa who will do the catching for the Dukes in the ninth spot. Ramon Godoy pitching and not batting. And for the Fargo Black Knights, left to right across the outfield, and now we are going to get called off the field. So just as we're about to get started, our umpires are going to call us off the field. So we'll fill for a couple of minutes here. We'll see what happens with the weather. But Lori Cook-Baird, let's talk about what you just saw from Brady Woods in the warm-up. Your first chance to see Brady Woods, the lefty for Fargo. You talked about the spin rate that you thought you saw right away from Brady.
Yeah, absolutely. He is a strong pitcher, and his spin is tight. He has a beautiful rise ball, true backspin, 6-12. His drop ball's 12-6, and it was falling off the table, gorgeous. And he had a really nice curveball. That curveball, he could land it on the inside corner, or he could land it on the outside corner, and it was breaking late. And nice changeup. I saw that as well. Excellent control. If I had to guess, I think his spin is somewhere in the mid-30s. Possibly approaching 40. He looked about 34 to 38 to me.
So where does that place Brady? Like, what's really, really good? Is 40 a high spin rate?
Well, 29 is considered pro for the females. So 34 to 38 puts him probably in the top 10%.
For the men's game?
I would say, yeah.
Okay, great. You've seen Ramon Godoy pitch earlier in the World Tournament last year, I guess, when you were up in Kitchener for the Circle Top Dukes.
Yes.
You had a notebook on Ramon Godoy as well.
Yes. He is one of my favorites. He's always been one of my favorites. His explosiveness, his ability to, when he lands, to offer that firm front side resistance and get that power that he gets. He really digs in and pushes back, and he gets underneath that ball, and he has a rise ball that's gorgeous. He has a beautiful drop ball. He can change speeds on the dime.
Yeah, the biggest thing I think for Ramon Godoy that he's getting known for is that changeup, along with being one of the best power pitchers in the game.
Yes, I mean, if you can actually change speeds and come back with that nasty changeup like he has, and then have a nice power pitch, then you're difficult to deal with, and that's Godoy.
Talk about the importance of catchers here when we look at the lineup for Circle Top Leo Latassa is essentially the personal catcher for Ramon Godoy. They work a lot together. How important is it as a pitcher to establish that relationship with your catcher?
It's imperative. It's like the most important aspect of the game. That relationship between the pitcher and the catcher, that battery, that's the most important thing for a pitcher and a catcher. They have to feel like they're one, like they're united. And that catcher is in charge. And as a pitcher, Godoy is going to give himself over to Latassa. And Latassa is going to be in control of not only what's going on out in the field, but what pitches Godoy pitches. And as a pitcher, we have to trust our catcher so much that we give ourselves to that catcher. And so the relationship between the two, that trust that they've developed, that's going to allow Godoy to unleash, to just give in, to be fearless. And Latassa is able then to know exactly when he needs to call time, when he needs to break up the rhythm, what pitches he needs to call. I was watching him earlier, and I was really impressed with how he looks the batters up and down, how he is able to call time and talk to Godoy as much as he needs to in order to provide some sort of break in the game. Really impressive the way he seems to be looking not just at the batter, but who's on deck and who's in the circle and what may be happening 1, 2, 3 batters down the road, and make his choices in terms of what kinds of pitches he's calling and what's going to happen based on what's coming, not just what's there.
So if you're just joining us here on the ISC Network, Blair Setford, we're chatting with Laurie Cook-Baird. You see the tarp on the field. The heavy rain has come into the Denmark airspace, and we are in an indefinite rain delay at the moment. We're hoping that this one is going to blow over. The forecast, unfortunately, did not look great. We have a busy schedule here today at the ISC World Tournament. We have 5 games scheduled. We got one of them finished. We did not even get started here in the Circle Tap Fargo game, so we're in this indefinite rain delay right now. Laurie, as a pitcher, you've warmed up. You're ready to go for the game. Rain hits. What do you do now?
You try to stay focused. You get warm. You get into your space. You try not to get distracted. He's already in his mental space, his head space. What he needs to do is just stay focused and stay warm, and he's going to maybe have to come back on any minute now. So he needs to make sure that he's in the right headspace, and he's got to stay clear, stay focused, and not let any kind of distraction happen.
How long do you go before you've got to restart your entire pregame warm-up in terms of having to go through all of the mechanics that you go through for pregame?
I think that depends on the weather. I think that depends on how cold it is outside. I think that depends on his own, natural, how long it takes him to get warm. Different pitchers take a different amount of time to get warm. I know I'm quick to get warm. I know if
but
it's
you pitch in California all the time.
I know. So depending on the weather, if it's cold, then it might take longer. If it's warm, it might take longer. If you watch games in California that are being played, you'll see, a Rachel Garcia asking for her jacket, for example, and yet you'll see girls in the Midwest who aren't asking for their jacket when they make it on base. Mm-hmm. And we learned that regardless of the weather, whether or not it's warm or not, you're going to stay warm if you get your arm warm and keep it warm. Yeah, so sure. It's really important that he stays warm temperature-wise, as well as if he feels it all tight, he's going to need to loosen up. But depending on how long this goes, he could need 10 minutes. He could need 15. I don't know what his normal length of time is, but the idea is to try to bundle up and keep his muscles warm.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So, again, if you're just joining us here on the ISC Network, we are in rain delay chatting with Laurie Cook-Baird. Laurie, you've seen a lot of the men's game over the last couple of years, up to Grand Rapids for the 2017 ISC World Tournament in Kitchener. In 2018. I know you just got into town today, but...
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay, so you got here today.
Last night. I watched last night.
Oh, did you? Great. Glad you were joining us. Who really stands out for you? Did you get a chance to watch Huemo Mata last night for the Kitchener Cubs?
I did not. I left at that game. I'm looking forward to it. I did get a chance to watch Cleary versus
Kirkpatrick.
And that was a beautiful, beautiful game. Kirkpatrick was on. I mean, he was just on. He was hitting that outside corner on the righties just beautifully. He was just on. I have not gotten a chance to see Mata, and I want to see him. And he's the little brother, correct?
He is the younger brother of the legendary Lucas Mata, who from Argentina, who was really one of the pioneers from Argentina coming up to play here in North America. Younger brother Huemo follows. Double gold medalist so far this year, WBSC World Championship, Pan Am Games World Championship. Huemo, the winning pitcher, both of those games pulling off the daily double that Team Canada did back in 2015, and now looking to add possibly an ISC World Championship to the resume. And he looked really good last night. But just going back to that Sean Cleary game with Andrew Kirkpatrick, a 2-hitter by Andrew Kirkpatrick, a 1-hitter by Sean Cleary. But unfortunately for Sean, the only hit he gave up was the home run. They lose 1-0. Heartbreaker.
Absolutely.
Tough one.
Those boys were both throwing amazing. And, I mean, the defensive plays that were being made on that field last night were unbelievable. There were some shots to the shortstops that were unbelievably fast, and those guys just picked those balls off that field. And
the hidden gem that is men's fast pitch softball, I think if we could ever get more of the exposure, people would just be amazed at the athletes that we've got on the field, especially when we get down to the final 8 like we have here this week, and people get to see Ramon Godoy and Sean Cleary, Kirkpatrick, Huemo Mata, and some of these others. It is great to see you here with this rain delay, and hopefully maybe the hardest of it has passed. But we're going to shut down for a few minutes here and give everybody a chance to reset. We'll come back. We'll talk some more pitching with Lori Cook-Baird over the course of the game. Stay with us and watch the ISC Fast Pitch Twitter for weather updates. We'll let you know when the game is going to resume. And it will be here on the ISC YouTube channel when we come back. So for Lori Cook-Baird, we're going to take a break right now. We'll close it down with the weather delay. We're in an indefinite weather delay right now. But once that tarp comes off the field, watch ISC Fast Pitch Twitter. We'll let everybody know when the game time, or when the game rather, is going to resume.
Awesome.